Ooh, fresh pavement. Let's do a 0 to 60.
Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing a shaky cam interior review in a 2017 Infiniti QX80. This is Infiniti's top of the line SUV. It's a very, very well done, very luxurious rig. Um, Price tag for this specific package right here is just about $92,000. So let's get going with it. This is a pretty comprehensive vehicle. I'll probably have to get in the back seat. We have a lot going on, lots of technology and things happening in this car. So over here hasn't been a whole lot of interior change in this vehicle, and it honestly doesn't really need much. Here you have doors, windows, etc. Over here, seat memory settings. Down here you can see the parking radar and blind spot and so forth, and that right there opens the rear hatch, automated hatch of course. Up here you see the instrument cluster, and then if you look over here to the left you'll see your dimmers and trip reset. Over here on the right side you'll see some menu buttons, so you can reach over and use this to change what's going on in there. Or you can do some of that from the steering wheel and slash infotainment. The steering wheel itself, you can see, has the usual, this controls infotainment and whatnot, and volume here, phone down here. Over here you have cruise control stuff. So here you have your parking radar. Here you have your distance, because this does have adaptive cruise, so you can set the distance between you and the next vehicle. You can also turn off the adaptive cruise. So if you're having, if there's a lot of ice or something, so it's not on the vehicle, so it's not registering with the radar very well, you can turn off the adaptive cruise via the screen up there. So when you set the cruise, you can set the cruise again to turn it off, the adaptive part. Over here, washer, wipers, etc. Over here, lighting and so forth. Then jumping into the instruments. Now, these are pretty shallow. It's not a very deep thing, but the glass here, which is on a bevel and it's curved, so rather than just going in at an angle, it curves at an angle. And that's important because somebody at Infiniti figured out that if you angle the glass a little bit, the glare reduces. I have no idea why. I'm not a physicist, but it works. So you don't have to have as much space between here and here in order to cut out the sideways glare and the up and down glare. Very, very intelligent, very nicely done. Over here you have the engine heat. Here you have the battery. Here you have tachometer. Over here, speedometer. Over there is fuel. Down there is engine heat. Didn't we already do engine heat? Yeah. So that must be oil. Yeah. Oh, look, a little oil can. Gee. Okay, so right here you have your driver information screen. You can switch through several things on this. It's kind of the usual fare. Basically, when you turn on the adaptive cruise, that stuff shows up in here. You can show your navigation, infotainment, etc., etc. You can put almost anything you want here. I generally default to either a digital speed readout or this trip, and it's on trip right now because I was recording my mileage for the week. You can see I put 343 and some change on this vehicle. So moving along, I do have the climate controls on, and I probably should not. There, I'll shut that off. Over here we have the infotainment screen itself. This up here on top is actually a Bose speaker. This has the upgraded Bose system. I believe that's actually in every Infiniti QX80, no matter what package you buy. This is sort of like the main screen. This is what you get when you push the info screen button. So you can change a few things, you can look at a few things, you can see this is where you would do things like change that adaptive cruise I was talking about. You can do a lot of other things in here. You can look at your tire pressure, you can look at current traffic according to the GPS in real time. You can look at weather, same difference. You can see your maintenance schedule to see when you need to, I don't know, change the oil, whatever. So lots of nice little things in here. You can fiddle around with it. Fuel economy you can run by trip, by total, by current drive, by trip on the trip computer, etc., etc. So you can get some interesting information here. I don't know why they have fuel economy there. I mean, I guess it's for the curious, but most people who own a vehicle like this really don't give a damn about what kind of fuel economy they're getting. This does, I will point out, it does not get excellent fuel economy on paper. It gets slightly better than what it's rated, in my experience, having driven this for 3 years in a row now. And it also has a very large fuel tank, which is a huge bonus in a vehicle like this. So does pretty well as far as how much distance you can get for fuel. Out of the 343, you can see I used pretty much the entire tank. I'm down to the last quarter. That's in 343 miles of driving, but I have to point out that for over 100 of that, I was in four-wheel drive, driving in very inclement weather. And I would also point out that this vehicle does extremely well in bad weather and terrible road conditions. I was very impressed with that. I got stuck in a snowstorm and had to drive out of it, and this did a great job of it. So here is how you control your infotainment screen. Most of it's pretty straightforward stuff. You can run through the cameras here. This has the 360-degree around view camera system that Nissan has on a lot of their vehicles now, almost all of them. You can see your drive route, your map, destination, etc. Use this to page through and do this, or it is a touch screen, so you can do it either way, which is kind of cool. It's nice to have the redundancy. Down here you have all of your radio controls and proof that this is a luxury vehicle. Only luxury vehicles are allowed to have analog clocks in them. We all know that. It's an auto industry standard or something. Okay, so stereo controls there. This is the dual climate control here. You can also control the rear climate from up there. You activate it down here, and the rear also has climate controls in the back. Hopefully you'll see that in a minute when I climb back there. So pretty straightforward on the buttons there. Down here, looking around the shift knob, here you have your bun warmers and coolers. This folds up the rear seating. There's one for either one, so there's one on the other side over here where my finger is kind of hidden. Steering wheel heat right there. Here you have your 12-volt socket and a repeat. Here's the shifter here. Nothing really special about it. Here is the drive controls. I've been leaving it in auto except for, like I said the other day, I put it in 4 high and pushed snow mode, drove through some really bad weather, and this did really well. Here you have tow mode if you're pulling a trailer, and if for whatever reason you want to turn off traction control, it is right there. This is a decent little phone cubby, has a USB port. You can set your phone in there straight up and down and it will stay and not move around much. Over here you have your bourgeois cover and then here are drink holders. And if you're into those big 1 liters that don't seem to ever fit in a drink holder, you can, I may not be able to do it with one, there we go. You can remove this, bam, fits right there, excellent. Then you have another power outlet and so forth. Giant center console, lots of space in there, and more plugs. Oh, and you can turn that switch. I forgot about that. That switch turns on and off the 120 outlet, which is available in the back. Beautiful seating. I really like Infiniti's seating. These are very, very good, very comfortable, and big. Lots of space in these seats. I like the dashboard design, kind of a curve going on with the inlaid wood and the way the leather and the chrome and stuff just kind of come together. This is a very nice interior. There's also a cream color that's very good. This right here has some sort of name that has something to do with coffee. I think it's mocha or something. Very, very nicely done. I really like this interior. Very pretty. Now, if you'll give me a moment, I will climb in the back seat. Okay, here we are in the back seat of the Infiniti QX80. I have one seat folded down, so this is what it looks like when they're flat for a flat cargo load. This right here actually folds up to up here, and then these also fold up to up here if you want, so that you get more of a dip down in here, I guess. Third row folds flat. I had 8-foot boards of lumber running crosswise in this car, and easy to load, easy to get out. It worked very, very well. There is also a rear end entertainment system in this vehicle. So here's the screen. It tilts and stuff, of course. And there are headphones in a bag over there, or you could store them in the center cubby. This also has lots of space in it. And there's the remote to run those. Really nice. I really like this. I really like the look. Here's your drink holders for the rear, and they're pretty large. You can see this folds down. And climate controls are down there, along with the heated seats for this second row. Just a great vehicle. I really like the way it works. I really enjoy being in this Infiniti. I've had a good time in this car and always enjoy the QX80. So that's about all we've got for our interior shaky cam review here. This is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com in the 2017 Infiniti QX80. Talk to you again soon.